Mental health advocate Mike King says he was left speechless after a school sent out a letter to parents last week naming and effectively, seemingly blaming a student for committing suicide. Mr. King says the school acted on its own with its own template outside Ministry of Education guidelines. He says the letter was careless and implied children at the school would be ostracised for speaking up about suicidal thoughts. This comes as the government reconsiders setting a goal of reducing suicide rates by 20% over 10 years as part of a new prevention strategy. I spoke with Mike King this afternoon and I asked him to read me the first two paragraphs of the school's letter.
3rd of August 2017. Dear parents and caregivers, last night so-and-so, a year 11 student, took her own life. This is an irreversible and unacceptable choice that she has made, and one that, along with her family and friends, we are deeply saddened about.
Right, Mike King, what is wrong with that letter?
Well, first off, they named the child. Second off, they called it a suicide. Only the coroner is allowed to rule on things like that. And third off, it's victim blaming. They've turned around and they have ostracized this young lady. They have shamed her and her family in front of the entire community. It is the only thing that is unacceptable is this letter.
Do you understand whether or not the school approached the family and said, we're going to send this letter out?
I have no idea. I don't, but I don't. I honestly don't. Look, here's the thing. I know the school's intention would have been good, but the delivery was absolutely appalling. And I have since I posted that letter, I've spoken with the Ministry of Education.
Who said what?
And they assured me that it is not their template. It is not something they encourage. I have since posted their template of a letter. They said that they reached out to the school and offered assistance, and they were rebuffed. They are going to speak to the school again today.
This speaks once again, and there have been years and years and years now of these discussions, of our ad hoc, unprepared, unrehearsed inability to get something that works as a formal response to suicide, doesn't it?
Well, what it does is it reinforces society's, my generation's, judgmental attitude towards young people. The assumption was immediately that this young lady had made an unacceptable choice. She was a naughty girl, and we should be protective of all of that. And she's actually, like the inference of the letter is, she is actually put other lives at risk by making that decision. And it's that judgmental attitude that my generation has towards young people, which is preventing them from talking to us. It is preventing them from coming forward and asking for help. Now, here's what we know, John. 40% of kids in schools will have a suicidal thought before they leave school, whether it's a one-off fleeting thought or whether it's a recurring thought that grinds them down on a daily basis. Now, this is just a normal part of being a human being. We have all questioned our mortality at some stage in our lives, and if you haven't, you seriously need help. Now, having a one-off thought is just a normal part of being human. Having a recurring thought, we all agree that it's time that you reached out and asked for help. But here's the stat that everyone should be really terrified about. 80% of kids who have recurring thoughts of suicide never ask for help, ever. Why? Because they're worried about what other people will think, what other people will say, and what other people will do with that information. They are also extremely worried, in a lot of cases, about hurting their parents. I've spoken to so many kids, and I said, why can't you talk to your parents? You love them, they love you. I don't want to hurt them. They have done everything for me. They don't deserve this. So it is fear. It is fear of what we are going to say and what we are going to do. So what I have learned over the last 4 years is our kids aren't the problem, John. We are the problem. Our generation is the problem. We must all look in the mirror and ask ourselves, what are we doing to prevent our young people, who we love more than anything in the world, what are we doing to prevent them from coming to us and opening up and having these discussions?
Who gave this letter and why? What was their concern? Was their response similar to yours? And did they want you to articulate precisely the stuff that you're now saying?
4 parents and a student.
4 parents and a student. 4 parents and a student. 4 parents
and a student emailed me the letter on Friday, and Facebook messaged me the letter. And like them, I was dumbstruck. Normally I have a response. I mean, I sat on it for the whole weekend. I sat there with my wife, and we just stared at each other, you know, and just going, what the hell is our world coming to? I mean, that letter sends a clear message to any young people in that community that you cannot have these thoughts, and if you do have them, you can't talk to us. What that letter should have said was, have the discussion with your children. This tragic event took place. Love your children. There'll be so many kids in that school who knew that girl that will be feeling guilty. They'll be worried that they could have done something, they should have done something. We need to all love these children and remind them that they did their best.
Mike King, mental health advocate.